Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto Zertuche, and I'm here in the back shop helping the guys out, build weights, clean weights, do whatever we can because we are a few guys short. So, with that being said, I'm also gearing up for this weekend's land-based shark fishing tournament with Beyond the Breakers, or Beachmasters. Sorry, it's put on by Beyond the Breakers. They have taken over it from Mr. Ron. He's the one who started it and held it for many, many years. And now for us, the torch has been passed. And I'm kind of excited because now that the coronavirus is starting to let up and we're getting back out there and doing these land-based shark fishing tournaments, this is something that I truly enjoy, is being put to the test.
Gotta bite. I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta learn. I'ma call the whole team.
With our land-based shark fishing here in Texas, it has always been one of the most extreme sports of fishing that you can do, that I feel, because you get out and you're on a kayak by yourself, and it's all up to you whether you can make it through the waves or not. And yes, occasionally you can have your friends help you kayak out a bait or whatever, but it does get to the point that it's you against the elements. You're out there multiple days at a time on the hopes that a big fish will come up, pick up your line. So you rig your baits and set them all up, get them out there at certain depths or whatever. I know guys that truly believe that if you go over the third bar, you're going too far. But I also look at the numbers of catches and big catches in comparison to those guys, to what I've done and stuff like that. And, everybody's different, It really is nobody's place to sit there and say, hey, you're dumb for what you're doing, da-da-da-da-da. You know what? Constructive criticism goes a lot better. And then having, the backup to show that whatever you're saying is legit. You know what I mean? If you've only got one monster catch under your belt in the 15 or 20 years that you've been kayaking, bait, or whatever, that really doesn't say a lot. Now you got a dozen, 2 dozen, monster catches under your belt. Well, then yes, there's something you're doing right, and it's definitely, something to pay attention to. So at that point, for me, that's what I judge anybody's knowledge on, is that, to see what proof they have that backs up their statements. Because it is fishing at the end of the day. But me personally, I'm going to do the best I can in any given situation with any knowledge from any level of fishing. You don't have to be an expert for me to take knowledge from you, or learn knowledge from you, should I say. That's better, because I'm willing to share my knowledge as well. Because not everybody can go out and catch the big fish or prep for big fish and stuff like that, but they go out there on a regular basis and have seen, hey man, this area there's a hang-up point or this and that. A lot of knowledge goes a long way at all levels of fishing, guys. And so for me, that's why I love the way we have the channel set up. We have it to where it doesn't matter what level of fishing you're at, everybody's willing to help you out and get you onto the best possible chances of landing a monster fish, or at least not lose a whole bunch of fishing tackle while you're trying to go after the monster fish. So right here on the table, I'm actually cleaning 3-ounce pyramids, but then I also realized that the melting pots are going and Jeff is preoccupied with a customer or something like that. And for me, I teach my guys that we try to do the best we can with the amount of time that we have available. And with that being said, if one guy is pouring and another guy is cleaning weights, the guy that's pouring has to go up to the front. Well, then whoever's cleaning weights should stop what they're doing and get on the burners, because the burners are where we're paying out money every second, every minute, every hour that those burners are on to create these weights. And if nobody's sitting there pouring weights and making use of that time, then we are always going into the negative. So with that being said, our workers are multitaskers. They can do one job function and move over to another. So that way at any given time, we can keep, pick up and keep running with the ball instead of having to drop it because, a certain worker ain't there. I learned that in the Marine Corps. That was something that we saw time and time again, and the biggest one was when we were in Yuma, Arizona. We had, I think it was, we were supposed to do like 200 bombs that we had to build that day, and these were, simple bombs. As they are released from the aircraft, they have a tether that stays with the aircraft and arms the weapon as it begins to fall away from the aircraft. Now, at the same time, we were stationed at that base for a little deployment. This deployment also enables other military branches to also go to the base to go do some practice for real military operations, building bombs, bomb runs, and stuff like that, for the pilots to also go out and get practice as well. So for them, we were actually on the base with a bunch of Air Force personnel as well, who also had bombs to build up. Well, we saw them get started. There was a whole crew of them. It was probably like 15 or 20 of them. They were getting it going. We're impressed with the type of gear they had and everything else. I was like, damn, that's impressive, but at the same time, being a Marine, me and the Marines were like, we don't need all that. We got this. We're, thick-headed to where we make it happen with whatever we have. So we were doing it, and we were rocking and rolling trailer after trailer after trailer. And then we were wondering why, man, they got started. They got the bombs on the trailers, and they stopped. They were all kind of just standing around. I'm like, okay, so we did what we did. We got ours built up, and then we took off to chow. We come back, and they're like, hey, go ahead and take the rest of the afternoon off because we finished what we needed to do. We started at 06, and we were done by like 11:30 building up all the bombs we needed to build. And so by doing that, we're like, okay, cool. So we missed the hottest part of the day. It was already up to like 112, 113 degrees out there. And we find out that the reason they stopped was because one of their guys who inserts the igniter into the bomb didn't show up that day. He was homesick or something. And well, that was something that stuck with me all through my careers, like making sure we were adaptable to any kind of situation that we needed to continue our job, is train all of our guys to be able to go from one job to the next job, because if somebody is sick, or say somebody does get hurt or wounded in battle, are we stuck, or are we going to be able to keep rocking and rolling? So with that mindset, that was something else that was also taught to us, is, teach somebody else your job, so that way if that torch had to be passed, you can keep rocking and rolling with it. So for me, here in our shop, we do that same thing. I try to teach everybody to be multitaskers, except when it comes to the front. The front, dealing with customers, it is real hard to be able to teach somebody a lot of things about the tackle if they don't actually be able to see themselves. And for us, the guys that are up front are the ones who go fishing with me on a regular basis, or have been at least 50 to 100 times, before I allow them to come up front and talk to my customers. Another thing too, with prepping for the shark fishing tournament this weekend, I knew I was going to be needing my kayaks, or kayak, to enable me to kayak out shark bait, but we had just used them for our little fishing family excursion where we went up to the river. However, with one or two people, sometimes it's really hard to get the kayaks back up onto my freezer where I store them. So we were waiting for a third person to get there, and yes, Mike was there, but he was rocking and rolling over there in the back, so I was going to wait till when we were starting to shut down to pass up the kayaks, and that's what we ended up doing. But in the meantime, it was just getting them off the truck so I can enable us to be able to go out and make deliveries. So that's what we did, and just pulling together as a team, everybody working what they had to work, so that way we can pull these big orders together, get them set up, because we're supplying Port A Outfitters with one of the orders. The other order we were supplying Causeway Pier. So we are still rocking and rolling and putting it together and really looking at all the angles of everything we got going with our drawings that we have here at the shop. And actually, I'll go and give y'all a quick little update. I know I did one yesterday. We have 4 drawings going on with reels that are fully spooled up. They're new in the box. We got drawing number 26, which is the Team Hard Life rod. We've sold 7. We have 20 available. Drawing number 25, which is the LX Raptor. We've sold 15. We have 35 available. Drawing number 27 for the MXL Raptor. We sold 12. We have 28 available. And drawing number 28 for the SX Raptor. We've sold 3. We have 32 available. You can pay for your tickets via Cash App at $ Team Hard Life, and or call the shop 361-334-2171, or come by in person to Hard Life's Bait and Tackle, 1902 South Padre Island Drive, Corpus Christi, Texas 78416, and get them that way. And I'm sorry, I keep saying how excited I am, but I'm going to keep going live with as many videos as I can per week, giving y'all an update of what I'm working on, what I got to do next, and everything in preparation for this land-based shark fishing tournament. But they too are also a prime example of when y'all can sit there and ask questions, and I should be able to answer them right there. And I love it because it gives us the ability to that what? I can't hear you.
I forgot we got a little bit of tape. I got 5 volts the other day. We're going to need to take all the separates up, bring in some boards, cases. I thought we got like 5 volts.
Oh, we need more rolls of tape.
Yeah, we might.
Alright, so what we were just discussing is the tape that we use for our spider weights. Before we take them to the tackle shops, we tape the bottom legs together so that way they're easier to handle for our customers once they receive them from us, the tackle shops. They can store them in the bins a lot easier and everything else, and it works out a lot better. You know, you can move a lot more weights around because they are, you know, the 4 legs are taped together. We've tried originally, you know, delivering them without it, but they catch just about everything. And then too, we use plastic bags to move our product, and because it's plastic, those 4 legs go right through the bag. They still go through the bag with the tape, but you only have to deal with like 5 or 10, you know, bunches of legs coming through instead of 20 or 30 of them punching through. And for the most part, they do have a slight sharp edge. So we've tried making sure that our cutter that cuts all 4 legs at the same time is very sharp and doesn't leave too big of a burr on there. If it's too big, we do what we can. But the cutter for our legs to cut the 4 wires at the same time normally ends up being about $250 to $300 for that pair of cutters. So yes, it is very expensive to do what we do, but we will keep rocking it. I do have to admit that it's been a while that I have worked the back, but you know, it's one of them things that you've done it for so long, for so many years, that, you know, it takes a little while to get back into the rhythm. Kind of like riding a bike, you're a little wobbly at first, and then you get right back on it, and you start pedaling, you start kicking gears over, and, you know, you start putting down some weights and stuff like that. So it's really nice to know that, you know, if my guys are ever in need, that I can still get back there, get down, and still show that, you know, we are fully capable of doing it. Now, a lot of people automatically assume that because the tackle comes from our shop that I build every single one of them. And you know, we're human, we're gonna make mistakes, but we do our best to double check each other's work, you know, test every piece of material that comes through and stuff like that. And that's what the channel is designed for, is to show the amount of testing that we keep doing and will always continue to do with our tackle and the gear and with our workers, because we want them to be on the front line of knowing what's going to work and what's not going to work, so that way our customers can always know that they are getting the best product. Hands down, know that without a doubt when they cast it out, when they hook up, they are going to be able to keep that fish on whatever leader we put them on. Now, we can't predict the knots they pull, the line they use, or anything else like that, but rest assured they know that when they tie on one of our leaders, that it is going to be good to go for them to hook up to whatever they can. And a lot of times too, we get some awesome catch reports of strange catches they caught on a different leader. Like, for example, you know, my flathead with a tilapia rig. That was pretty epic for me. I mean, because, you know, I'm going for these little 1 to 2 pound fish and I catch a 17 pounder. That is really nice, and I'm, again, totally blown away by that catch, and so much that I learned from that one catch. And I can't wait. I look forward to going back and getting some more freshwater catfish, those flatheads, and whatever I can get my hands onto, because it is awesome. It is a great thing to learn new types of fishing and what they have to offer. And bonus, it was so good. Oh my gosh, it was really good. So I am really looking forward to going back. And that, and the amount of meat we got off that one fish, it is awesome. Stay tuned for another catch and cook video, because we will be cooking it for my guys here at the shop, because many of them have never eaten it as well. And I look forward to feeding my guys, because, you know, that's one of the things I really try to do with my guys, is lift them up as much as they are lifting us up with the proper gear, the knowledge, and putting it all into work and stuff like that. So I really am humbled by seeing it all come together full circle. Everybody from the channel to our subscribers to our everybody that supports our tackle shop by coming in, buying tackle, or calling in orders, or sending us their reels, to my workers in the shop, you know, providing the gear that y'all get to go out, use, and put on your biggest fish. So we are really looking forward to it, and we'll keep it rocking and rolling. And remember, guys, we are setting up for our 20,000 subscriber comment giveaway. What that entails is that you be subscribed to the channel, start commenting something about the video, and include 20,000 comments or 20,000 subs, right, in your comment. And then do it as many times per video, where you're going to be hitting shuffle, selecting comments through multiple videos through the channel, so you just don't know which video is going to come up. So the best way to get your entry to that is doing it like that. We got 4 $500 reels, 4 $500 rods, 4 spools of braid, and 4 fishing trip for alligator gar or shark fishing.